I ain't die whole I know. I ain't die whole I say. I ain't die reconsider. I ain't die see up on that. Christopher Colombo Caesar. Jam plastic lion. Christopher Colombo Caesar. Jam plastic lion. And yes, Shaka. He's a liar. And he's serving God. He's the first one who discovered Jamaica. I heard I say that. What about the YAHAWAH Indians and the few black men who were down there before him? The Indians could not go no longer. Then here comes black man and woman and children. He not jump down longer. I want a whole heap of mix up. A whole heap of bend up. A happy straighten up. Oh, Christopher Colombo, Caesar. Jam plastic lion. Christopher Colombo, Caesar. Jam plastic lion. And yes, Shaka. He's a liar. Yes, he.
Okay, so I'm down here in Belmopan, Belize, right by the colossal head replica, which was donated by, I believe, the Mexican embassy from the Olmec culture. This particular one, which is just a replica, but the original one was discovered in 1970, and it is dated around 1200 to 900 BC. The place of origin was Texas-Tepec, state of Veracruz, Mexico, at the San Lorenzo Tenochtitlan site. It measures 1.63 meters long, 1.55 meters wide, and 2.20 meters high. Okay, it says it is considered one of the colossal heads in the best state of conservation. The helmet includes a band with 4 elements that have been interpreted as feline claws or bird claws. Apparently it was part of a sculptural set inside a sunken courtyard in the site of San Lorenzo. It says the Olmec civilization flourished in pre-classical Mesoamerica from circa 1200 to 400 BC and is generally considered the predecessor of all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Maya and the Aztecs. Let me read that again. This Olmec civilization is generally considered the predecessor of all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Maya and the Aztec. All right? Now let's look at his face. You see that? I'm not sure how well you can see it because the sun isn't on our side right now. But in any case, you can clearly see some thick lips, right? You can clearly see a broad nose, right? And you can see the eyes and the helmet, okay? All right, so I'm right here in Belmopan, next to the Mexican embassy, And as you can see behind me, this is the Olmec head in Belmopan, Belize. And of all the people I've asked in this country if they know about this head, they know that it's here, but they don't know what it is, and they haven't the slightest bit of knowledge on the history that it represents. You know, it's certainly not taught in the schools, whether the kindergarten, primary, secondary. You know, the people just have no knowledge of this ancient civilization. Okay? I want to get Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 5 and verse 15. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything, in a great matter or a small." So that's a commandment. Ignorance is not bliss. You will be held accountable for the knowledge that is available to you. And with the advent of the internet, people can no more claim ignorance, right? Let's get that in. I think it's Acts 18 and 20. Is it Acts 18 and 20 I want? Is it Romans 18 and 20? Alright, so this is Acts 17 and 30. It says, "And the times of this ignorance the Most High did wink, but now commandeth everywhere all men to repent." You see, so we are commanded to not be ignorant, and we are told that ignorance is not going to be winked at, because we live in the information age. You can't claim ignorance anymore, because let's get that in Daniel chapter 12, I think it is. It says, but in Daniel chapter 12 verse 4, it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So this knowledge that's being increased is knowledge of all kinds, but also knowledge of history. And today we are learning that this Olmec civilization were the first recorded civilization to be anywhere on this continent, whether it be South, Central, or North America. Alright? They're the oldest civilization that we have records of. And as you can clearly see, they have what you would call so-called black features, right? Perhaps that's part of the reason why there's a big shroud of mystery, and why the ignorance persists regarding this ancient culture. Okay? What else do we want to get now? Let's get Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 7 says, "Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee." You see, so we are told to remember our history. We're not supposed to just be satisfied to say, "Oh, that was in the past," and that's the end of that, you know. Because, you know, a man without his history is like a tree without its roots. You don't know where you come from, you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you're going. Okay? Then there's also that one in Job, the 8th chapter. Let's get that one. This is Job chapter 8 and verse 8. It says, "For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow." You see that? So These heads are thousands of years old, man. And this is a replica of the Olmec head right here in Belmopan, Belize, and yet the Belizean people have no idea what it is. You know? But this ancient civilization is the predecessor of all Mesoamerican so-called civilizations, right? Predating the Aztec, predating the Mayans, you know, predating all of them. You see? So, what is the biblical application of this head other than the historical aspect of it and us knowing our history? You see, King Solomon had two sons, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. And when Solomon passed away, there was a split between what you would call the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom was known as Judah, which consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? These three tribes stayed in Jerusalem. But as a result of the disagreements between the northern and southern kingdom, the northern kingdom, which represents Ephraim, right, and the house of Joseph, they left off from our customs and our laws, and they went into captivity by the Assyrians. When they went into captivity, let's get the account in 2nd Esdras chapter 13. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 13. I'm going to read from verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes, meaning the northern kingdom, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt. You see, so that further country, we believe by faith that further country was America. And seeing that the Olmec civilization are the oldest semblance of a civilization that we have in this part of the world. Right. That, you know, someone was passing by saying something there. I'm not even sure what he said. I think he said something about that's the Bible. Anyway, so this Olmec civilization, you know, could possibly be an ancient Israelite civilization that came here, man. Because if it says that the northern kingdom left away from Assyria and went into this land where mankind never dwelt, that means they were the first ones here, right? We just putting the pieces together, man. And it goes on. Maybe read from verse 41 again. It says, but they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Asareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. Now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou that multitude with peace. You see, so the Most High dried up the land for these people to pass through, man, just like he did in Moses' time for the Israelites, all 12 tribes to pass through. You see? So we're talking about this ancient Olmec civilization, man. You know, and it's interesting because I came across a YouTube channel of, I think, a guy saying that he's Lakota or Dakota or one of those Native American tribes. You know, he's of the belief that, you know, he doesn't believe the Bible. He doesn't believe that the so-called Native Americans and Hispanics are indeed part of the nation of Israel. He has a channel where it seems like his whole sole purpose of his channel is to disprove that these Olmecs were indeed a dark-skinned race of people, right? Resembling the so-called Africans, okay? But like, you look at this guy, man, you look at the Olmecs, and maybe I'll put some more pictures of different Olmecs in terms of the heads that were found. These people look just like Biggie Small, man. You understand? So you mean to tell me these people that built the pyramids and had technology where they were using magnetism, because these stones, they come to find out, these huge stones that they were carved out of are possessed of magnetic qualities, and it is thought that they use magnetism to help transport these huge slabs of stone, you know. But you mean to tell me that these people with such skill, you know, without electricity as it were, without modern day tools, were able to create these monolithic stone carvings and the pyramids? You mean to tell me that they didn't know how to accurately depict themselves? You know, it just goes to show how the so-called devil will try to claim credit for these civilizations for himself and say that he is the Egyptian, and he is, you know, the Babylonian, and he is the Native American, and he is the Olmec. But with the Olmec, it's kind of hard to do because you have these huge carvings of these stones, man. So the next best thing to discredit the so-called black man is to give this heritage to the so-called Native American. You know? But these Olmec heads are here. And if you are not familiar with this history, you should probably familiarize yourself with it. Because indeed this history has been stolen from our people, man. And like we read in Deuteronomy 32:7 and Job 8 and 8, we're supposed to know our history. We're not supposed to be ignorant like you talk about in Sirach 5:15 and Acts 17:30. You see? Because our faith, let's get that in Hebrews 11. Because our whole thing is based on faith. Let's get Hebrews 11 and 16, I think is what I want. No, Hebrews 11 and 6. It says, maybe start from the first verse. Hebrews 11. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So we have faith, you know. But our faith is not a blind faith where we just believing in a fantasy. You know, our faith is coupled with knowledge. Let's get that in 1 Samuel. Matter of fact, let's get Hosea 4 and 6 first. Hosea chapter 4 and 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So all people are destroyed because of what? Lack of knowledge. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. This head has been here for at least since I came here in 2017, and people ain't growing in wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. They still don't know what it is. Right? Destroyed for lack of knowledge. Let me get 1 Samuel now. First Samuel 2 and 3, I think it is. says, talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. See, so our power is a power of knowledge, and his son is also a power of knowledge. And so we're supposed to know things, man. We're not supposed to be ignorant, deaf, dumb, and blind, as it were. Not in 2024, right? So where were we now? We were in... Where were we? Leaving off from? Hebrews. Right. Because our faith is based upon knowledge. Not just a blind faith, man. And our knowledge is based upon, in part, history. Okay? Hebrews 11 and 6 again. But without, maybe start from the first verse. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds, plural, were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were made of things which do appear. Were not made, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because the Most High had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And it goes on speaking about faith and more faith and more faith, you see. But faith, you know, without works is dead. And part of that works, as commanded by our Lord, is to study to show yourself approved, like you talk about in 2 Timothy 2:15. You see? And when you study to show yourself approved, you want to know about the civilizations that predate us, man. You don't want to just start your history with, you know, the day you were born. You want to know things, man. And today we're going over the ancient Olmec civilization. This replica head in the heart of Belmopan City, Belize. Alright? So, like I said, if you don't have knowledge of this history, you should look online and see where you going? You want to come? Where? Democracia. Okay. You could go two ways. You could go this way on a dirt road, but if you want the main road, go so. Take that first right. When you reach the end of the road there, turn left. Then take another right and you're going to see the main road. So go so, right? Go follow that car here. And then take the first left. And then take a right and go straight down after the first left. Got it? You can go back this way too if you want. By the stoplight, turn right. Go so, by the stoplight, turn right and go straight, and then turn right again. Then you're going to see it. Yeah, so people, you know, our people are lost, man, and that's a perfect example of that, man. Let me get that in Jeremiah chapter 50. Our people are lost, man, both, you know, physically and spiritually, man. Figuratively and literally. Alright, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6. It says, my people hath been lost sheep. The shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. You see? But when you have knowledge of history, man, it's important. It's very important. You know, without knowledge of history, you have no connection to your ancestry, where you come from. You see? So So I'm gonna say shalom now. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying, relevant unto salvation for the hopeful elect. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Shalom.